Hello and a warm welcome back to the Sussex Daily News Channel. In this video, we update a piece of sad news for Meghan and Harry. They are set to be brutally mocked in a new TV show. Besides that, Meghan Markle is a big fan of erotic fiction and had a saucy email address. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are in hiding in Los Angeles, but apparently their actions this year will be heavily mocked. And today it's been reported they are set to be mocked with caricatures on British TV show Spitting Image, as outlandish puppets will act out bizarre storylines. The couple are set to be caricatured on the show. As royal expert Roya Nika explained, there is no shortage of storylines. Spitting Image will return to TV screens with more than 100 puppets, including a new look Charles and Camilla, as well as Michael Gove and Dominic Raab. Speaking to ITV's Lorraine, Miss Nika said, "Spitting Image is back and they're going to have puppets of the Queen, the Prince of Wales, and Prince Andrew. The royal family are always very careful about not committing to whether they watch programs like The Crown or Spitting Image. I know that William and Harry have actually watched The Crown. I suspect they probably will be tuning in just to see what they say. The puppets are absolutely brilliant." Presenter Lorraine added, "They're funny. I used to love it before when they had the Queen Mother taking in a sort of northern accent voice and drinking gin all the time. That was great." Ms. Nika noted, "They're not short of storylines anymore. Producers previously unveiled images of Boris Johnson, his chief advisor Dominic Cummings, and the Duke of York ahead of the show's comeback." Meanwhile, Meghan Markle even used a saucy email address, which is said to have been a nod to Anais Nin's autobiographical novel, The Four-Chambered Heart, when she first met Prince Harry in 2016. On The Sun, it's been reported Duchess of Diva is a big fan of erotic fiction writer Anais Nin's novels and even had a secret email address that referenced one of them. She even used the saucy email address, which is said to have been a nod to the French author's autobiographical novel, The Four-Chambered Heart, when she first met Prince Harry in 2016. The book includes a threesome, which is described as an explosive, amorous rendezvous, The Sun reports. Meghan's address included a reference to a quote from the female lead, Juna, who says to her married lover, Rango, "I must be a mermaid, Rango. I have no fear of depths and a great fear of shallow living." A source said, Meghan was a big fan of Anaïs's work when she met Harry and was using this email address then. A lot of Anaïs's books are quite explicit, but Meghan likes the arty way they're written. Anaïs was a feminist icon, and Meghan found what she wrote very interesting and liberating. She used that email address for ages, but I don't think she ever thought anyone would realize what it was in relation to. Meanwhile, in a report just dug up by the Daily Express, Princess Anne pointed comment about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. The Princess Royal said that the younger generation should not try to reinvent the wheel and change the royal family's tried and tested approach when it comes to philanthropy. She described herself as the boring old fuddy-duddy at the back, saying, "Don't forget the basics." One royal commentator has claimed this may be a pointed reference to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, who are the people who have made the biggest change from the status quo. The couple stepped down as senior royals at the end of March and are in the process of setting up their own nonprofit named Archewell. Meanwhile, Anne is a very experienced working royal, having now been working in the role full-time for over 50 years. She's the patron of over 200 organizations and still regularly comes out on top as carrying out the most number of engagements each year, despite now standing at 70 years old. Princess Anne might consider herself boring old fuddy-duddy, but she has 52 years of dedicated service to this country behind her, and I admire and respect her for that. She knows what she's talking about, and Harry and Meghan should have asked her for advice rather than Meghan's PR team, who knew nothing about what it means to be royal. As in martial arts, there are no advanced techniques, only superbly executed basic moves. Princess Anne, if you will pardon the comparison, ma'am, is the prime example in the royal family. Works hard, does lots of out-of-the-way places. Her work is largely unrecognized and is not hemmed in by protocol. She speaks her mind. Yes, ma'am, I am an admirer and not ashamed to say so. Back to this report, Princess Anne told Vanity Fair ahead of her birthday this year, "I don't think the younger generation probably understands what I was doing in the past. And it's often true, isn't it? Nowadays, they're much more looking for, oh, let's do it in a new way. And I'm already at the stage. Please do not reinvent that particular wheel. We've been there, done that. Some of these things don't work. You may need to go back to basics." Indeed, Anne has been working as a royal for so long she has seen other characters rise and fall and witnessed all the royal pitfalls, including Princess Diana, Sarah Ferguson, Prince Andrew, and even her own divorce from Captain Mark Phillips. In fact, Anne reportedly never approved of Diana and Sarah, affectionately named Fergie, choosing to do their own thing and moving away from the traditional way of behaving. Daily Express royal photographer Steve Wood told the 2003 Channel 4 documentary The Real Princess Anne that Anne thought Diana was lessening the stature of the royal family and that she and Fergie were too tabloid for her. This is in some ways comparable to the star quality of Harry and Meghan, how they are often viewed as celebrities, followed by the masses, rather than royals quietly getting on with their duty. That said, Anne has had her own difficulties as a royal, including a tense relationship with the press for a number of years, who viewed her as a bad-tempered and sulky. However, her hard work and dedication won out, and she is now one of the most highly respected royals. She's not been free from scandal either, after being outed for having an affair in 1989, but then she separated from her estranged husband Mark and later married Commander Timothy Lawrence, with whom her marriage is fast approaching the 30-year mark. Meanwhile, Pod Save the Queen is hosted by Anne Gripper and features Daily Mail royal editor Russell Myers. Mr. Myers made the connection between Anne's words and Harry and Meghan. He said, "She said in that interview, don't try and reinvent the wheel. Don't try and run before you can walk." And maybe that was a pointed reference to Harry and Meghan, and I think it was definitely a reference to the younger members. She had spoken about, "Listen, I'm the old fuddy-duddy at the back, but we have been doing things before you were born, Sonny." And that is very interesting, and I think that has come across, that she's very, very experienced. She's patron of so many charities and good causes. She's seen the pitfalls of royal life, whether that's Fergie, Diana, Andrew, her own divorce, and these issues are very, very interesting. And I would lean on her for counsel, as I'm sure several other members of the royal family have done. And in the latest news, Queen and Prince Philip return to Norfolk. Scotland is traditionally where the Queen enjoys her summer break, but she's moved with Philip to Norfolk to spend time privately at a remote farmhouse on the Sandringham estate. The Queen normally stays at Sandringham during the Christmas and New Year period, while the 99-year-old Duke has spent much of his time at Wood Farm Cottage at Wolferton since retiring from public office in 2017. The couple has chosen to stay at the secluded 5-bedroom farmhouse, which overlooks the Marches and Wash, rather than Sandringham House. It is close to part of the Royal Stud, where the Queen's racehorses are bred, and the Royal Pigeon Lofts. The head of state had traveled with Philip to Balmoral in early August. The couple went ahead with their annual stay in the Highlands after spending the previous 4 months at their Berkshire residence at Windsor Castle, with a reduced household dubbed HMS Bubble. A palace spokesperson said last week that the Queen and Philip intended to move from Balmoral to spend time privately on the Sandringham estate. The spokesperson added, "Subject to the finalization of the autumn program, Her Majesty's intention is to return to Windsor Castle in October and to resume the use of Buckingham Palace for selected audiences and engagements. These plans will be kept under review and will of course be subject to all relevant guidance and advice." Future arrangements for the 99-year-old Duke are still being discussed. It's not yet known whether Philip will remain at Sandringham when the Queen returns to Windsor, or whether he will join her at the castle where they spend the lockdown. While the Queen is said to be determined to spend Christmas at Sandringham, it is also not known how the Rule of 6 restricting gatherings will affect her place, if it's still enforced during the festive season. Last year, she was joined by around 30 family members, while thousands of well-wishers queued at Sandringham to see the royal family attend the Christmas Day church service. That's it for me tonight. What do you think about all this? Please let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share with your own followers. And as always, subscribe to our channel for all the latest news on the royal family, Meghan Markle, and Prince Harry right here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.